So here we go. We are going to learn about linear inequalities. You've probably seen this before. But it's a part of the curriculum, so we're going to cover it. And in my opinion, the more you see something, the better, because you understand it better. Shamar, I hope it wasn't like getting too intense there. Sometimes I get very intense. But the purpose is always for a person to have a better life. That's, yeah, I do. I feel bad after getting really intense, don't I? Okay. All right, so here's what we have. Here's the idea. Linear inequalities are basically line equations. So like y equals mx plus b, right? But instead of y equals mx plus b, it's going to be something like y is greater than mx plus b. Or y is greater than or equal to mx plus b. Or y is less than mx plus b. And then the fourth possibility, y is less than or equal to mx plus b. Right? So these are the four possible forms of a linear inequality. And what we're going to do is we are going to learn very simply how to graph linear inequalities. Now, you may remember this. Maybe you learned this before, but I'm going to remind you. When you are drawing the line for a greater than or a less than, for one of the ones that does not have an or equal to, you draw a dashed line. Okay? So the y is greater than would be a dashed line. Okay, when you're drawing this line, would you agree that if this said y equals mx plus b, it would just be a line on the coordinate plane, right? Okay, well, it still is a line. But because it doesn't have the or equal to, it's a dashed line instead of a solid line. Now, the or equal to's, those are solid lines. Yeah. Now, don't look at the direction. The direction is based on the slope. Okay, we don't know whether, some of them will have positive, some of them will have a negative slope. This one here does not have or equal to, right? So it's going to be a dashed line, right? This one does have an or equal to, so it's a solid line. Then, after drawing the line, the next thing you'll do is shade a region. You're either going to shade above the line or below the line, and that depends on the symbol. Greater than. Where are all the greater than numbers? Are they above or below? Above. So in this case, we would shade the region above the line. And this greater than or equal to, above or below? Are greater than or equal to, are they higher than or lower than? Higher than. Again, we're going to shade above. Right? How about this one, less than? Where would we shade? Below, because less than numbers are smaller than. They're below. And then on this less than or equal to, also below. Okay? Does that make sense? Let's do an example. Let's say that we have, where are my examples? They were around here somewhere. Oh, here they are. All right, let's say that we have y is less than x plus 4. Y is less than x plus 4. Well, basically, we're just going to graph the line x plus 4. Where do I go first to graph x plus 4? Positive 4, right? I'm going to go to the y-intercept. Oh, I forgot. Hang on. You guys need graph paper for this. I have graph paper if you don't have some. You're going to need graph paper. You're also going to need graph paper to do the homework. Does anyone in here need one sheet of graph? I got about enough to give everybody one sheet. There's 4 right there, one for each. You guys, do you need one? There you go. Graph paper, graph paper, graph paper. Anybody down there need graph paper? Okay, 1, 2, 3. There's some graph paper for everybody down there. Okay. All right. So now, on the graph paper, so draw a coordinate plane. Draw a vertical line and a horizontal line for the... And now we're going to go up to positive 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Because it says x plus 4. And now, what is the slope of this line? It's 1, right? Because in front of the x is a 1, positive 1. That means up 1 over 1, right? So up 1 over 1, and then up 1 over 1. And so now, am I going to draw a dashed line, or am I going to draw a solid line? Dashed line, because it's not, or it does not have the or equal to symbol. So now, oops. Not perfect here, but it's pretty good. There we go. There's the line, x plus 4. The inequality is y is less than x plus 4. So I'm going to shade below. Now, when I was younger, when I was in college algebra, when I was like 23 years old, when I was in college algebra, I was not sure whether, because sometimes when it gets really steep, it looks like left and right instead of top and bottom. So what I would do personally was I would just put my pencil on the line, and if it was a greater than, I would move my pencil vertically up. If it was less than, I'd move it vertically down. So this is less than, so I'm going to move it vertically down and put a dot down here. And I know that that dot is in the solution region. So now I just shade this whole area down here. See that? That means any coordinate in that shaded region is a solution. Jabari, pick any coordinate down there. Any coordinate. Actually, negative 1, 3 is on the line. Pick one in the solution region. 5 what? 5, 5? 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. The point 5, 5 is in the solution region. Therefore, if we put 5, 5 in here, it would be true. 5 plus 4 is 9. Is 5 less than 9? Yes, then we're good. You want to redeem yourself? You want to pick one more? How about the origin?
0, 5.
No, the origin, 0, 0, right? See, 0, 5 is not in the solution region. 0, 5 is up here, not in the solution region. Okay, but 0, 0 is. 0 plus 4 is 4. Is 0 less than 4? Yes. All right. We doing okay so far? All right. I have you for another 30 minutes. Let me make sure here. Um, 10:05. Thank you. All right. Let's do another one. All right. Let's do, I can't go through all the examples because I don't have you as long today. How about y is greater than or equal to negative 4/3 x minus 2. Negative 4/3 x minus 2. Okay? So go ahead and draw a coordinate plane. Write that out. Do you want to try and graph this one yourself, or do you want me to just jump right in and do it? Why don't you guys try it? I think you guys should try it. It's y is greater than or equal to negative 4/3 x minus 2. So if that was just a regular line, graph it that way and then decide whether you're going to do a dashed line or a solid line. You okay, Abby? All right. Danielle, are you working on this? Can you take your headphones off? Thank you. And then don't forget to shade the region either above or below the line. And basically what that shaded region is telling you is that you can pick any xy coordinate in this region and you would have a correct and you would have a true statement. Oh, I used vis-a-vis wet erase marker. It took 20-something minutes. And I used a level to make sure all the lines were straight. It's worth it for 3 classes. If I'm teaching 3 whole classes.
But that comes off?
Yeah, with rubbing alcohol or expo. Yeah, what I really want is I have an idea. Anybody know where that's from? No. No? All right. It's from the Crudes.
Oh.
You remember they were like the dad, Nicolas Cage's character near the end. He's like, I have an idea, because they're like talking about ideas, It's like, I call them ideas. That was Ryan, what's his name's character. Okay. So anyway, my idea is to go to Lowe's and buy a whiteboard and to create another one of these only in Sharpie, permanent marker, so that I can then hang it from these hooks with loops, and I can have a coordinate plane, a whiteboard coordinate plane anytime I want. Yeah. What's that?
If you use, are you using a special marker to write on that?
Right now?
Yeah.
Yes. While white erase or dry erase erases it off, wet erase only comes off with wet. But you'll notice that it will come off when I write on top of it and then erase with this. So it slowly breaks up. But if I use Sharpie, it should mostly stay. Really what I'd like to do is get one that they sell with already a... But the problem I have with that is I'm afraid that the ones they sell don't have large enough squares. Like I have one over there, a chalkboard version of it, but the squares are like this big. They're too small. People have to be able to see them from far away. So, all right. So what's our y-intercept here? What's the y-intercept? -2. So from the origin, I'm going to go down 2, and I'm going to put a dot. What's my slope? -4/3, right? Now, let me explain. Here's a little tip, okay? You may learn something here. Danielle, I think you should probably flip that over. I don't think you need that right now. So look, -4/3 means either down 4, forward 3. That's if you do -4/3. But -4/3 is also 4/-3. You could also do it as 4/-3, which would be up 4, backwards 3. And it's still the same line. Go ahead, Danielle.
Well, what if we started at the other -2?
This -2, that would be a problem. See, this is the y-intercept, not the x-intercept. Yeah, you're always doing a vertical, an up or a down on this. An up or a down. All right, and now, am I going to have a solid line or a dashed line? Solid line. So I'm going to line these up. There we go. Now, am I going to shade above or below? Above, because it says greater than or equal to, right? So I can pick any point on the line, go up, put a dot, that's in my solution region, right? So I'm going to shade this whole region up here. And now I'm only shading a portion of it, but really it goes off to infinity. Yeah, I got a couple of them. Yeah, to infinity and beyond. I'll have rulers out on Thursday for the test. I'll have rulers for everybody. Okay. All right. Let's do. Let's go to the next. Well, there's one more thing I want to teach you, and then we'll go on to the next part. All right. I'm going to erase these. All right. Now, I want to do 2 more, and they can cause confusion, but they're actually really easy. Here's what I want to do. I want to graph y is less than 3. Notice there is no x in this, right? Do you know what a line that is just y equals? Do you know what that looks like? What is it? What kind of line is it? It's a straight. Yeah, well, they're all straight lines, but it's a. Yeah, but it's actually horizontal, right? Because X's are vertical lines, okay? The reason a lot of people think that Y would be a vertical line is because the Y-axis is vertical. But the reason the Y-axis is vertical is because it's counting all of the horizontal Y values as steps going up or down. So Y less than 3 would be a straight line at 3. 1, 2, 3. Horizontal line at 3. Is this one going to be dashed or solid, right? Wait, hang on. It's less than, right? So it's going to be a dashed line at 3. And then now, above or below? Below, because it's less than. So then we would shade down here. So this would be the graph of Y is less than 3. What if it was X? Let's try X. See, X is a different story. Now we got to change things up a little bit. It's a vertical line. So let's say I have X is greater than or equal to 2. Solid or dashed line? Solid. And it's a vertical line where? At X equals 2. So I'm going to go to the origin. I'm going to go over to 2, which is right here where X equals 2. And I'm going to draw a vertical line. Now, am I going to shade on the left side or the right side? Yeah, because it's X is greater than, right? Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, just to go back real quick.
Yep.
The Y is
Horizontal line.
It's still a dotted line.
Yeah, and remember, the only thing that matters on dotted line is whether or not you have this or equal to. Yeah. So now we would shade on the right side because this is the greater than side, right? This is the greater than side. All these values are greater than 2. Okay, so when X is 3, it's greater than 2. When X is 4, it's greater than 2. If we did X equals 1, 1 is not greater than 2, so that's why this is not in the solution region. Okay. If you're not sure, I'm videoing this. This is going to go on my page. Have y'all seen my page on YouTube? Okay. I sent you at least a couple videos so far. You could subscribe if you want to, and then you would get my videos when I post them. But I also post pre-calculus on that page, so you would want to ignore the pre-calculus videos. Whoa. Wait, I can put it back. I can put it back. There we go. There we go. Professor Ryan, and if you search Professor Ryan, Mr. Ryan, Mr. Ryan, you'll find something. You'll find something that has me in it, and then you can subscribe if you want to. Yeah. Yeah. All right, can I erase it now? No. Okay. All right, well, while you're writing that, I'm going to write something up here. The next thing we're going to learn, the last thing we're going to learn is systems. Systems of linear inequalities. Systems of linear inequalities. Yep. Yeah. What? Okay, so we had a dashed line at 3, right? We shaded below because Y is less than. In Y numbers, right? Y is dealing with things that are above or below, right? How do you cut things that are above and below? With a horizontal line, right? That's why we know it's a horizontal line. Okay? So, above would be greater than, below would be less than. Okay? All right. I'm going to erase it now. Okay. Yes, it will. Yeah. And really what I'm going to do is there's probably only going to be like one of each of these. This whole test is basically just going to be a sample of everything that we've learned. So if you look back through all of the worksheets, there's been like 10 of them. So, well, this will make 10 today. Okay?
Does that kind of worksheets you sent over the email?
Yes, they're in there too. Yes.
You gotta print them off yourself?
Well, or just work off of them off of your computer. Either way. So here's the thing. I'll probably do like the first worksheet I gave you had like 7 sections. I'll probably have one question like each one of those. That's 7 of the questions. The next worksheet had like 3 sections, so I'll take one of each of those. So that's basically how I'm doing it. For each type of question, there will probably be one of them. I may consider putting 2, but I won't put any more than 2 on any one. All right, so here's what we're going to do. To graph a system of linear inequalities. A system of linear inequalities is two inequalities graphed. That's it. And then with the shading. That's it. So basically we're going to do what we just did, only instead of only graphing one line at a time, we're going to graph two lines at a time. So let's say that we have y is greater than x minus 1, and we have y is greater than or equal to negative 1/3 x plus 3. So why don't you start by, let's graph the first one. I'll give you a minute or two, draw a coordinate plane. I'll give you a minute or two, graph the first one there, and then I'll graph it. All right, let's see here. Should I wait a minute? Did you graph this one yet? Are we all right? All right, where's the y-intercept? -1. So I go to the origin, go down 1, right? There's -1 right there. Okay. What's the slope? 1, right? So that's up 1 over 1. By the way, it's also down 1, back 1. Because isn't 1 also equal to -1 divided by -1? So you can go up 1 over 1 or down 1, back 1, right? Am I going to draw a dashed line here or a solid line? All right, dotted or dashed, that's fine. Either one's good. Kind of not doing the greatest job in the world at this, but I'm doing the best I can right now. Okay. Okay. So now, where would I shade? Above or below? Above. So I'm going to shade this area right here. Okay. All right. Now, this second one, you want to go ahead and graph that one, or did you do it already? You did it? You guys want a minute to graph it? Got about 15 minutes left. What's an early release day? I have a 2-hour professional learning session today. No. When y'all go home early, we sit in meetings. I would rather teach students. I like students better than meetings. I'm not saying I like students better than the people in the meetings. I like all people. But honestly, this environment, man, I could do this for the rest of my life. I could do this probably for the rest of eternity. I know it sounds crazy, but I enjoy being a resource to people who are trying to learn. I feel like it's what I was made to do. You know, when you do what you were made to do, even though it can be frustrating sometimes. I'm not saying there's no stress. I'm not saying I don't get upset. I'm just saying that. Yeah. In a way, I miss it, and in a way, I don't miss it, you know. Yeah. I really do like this. You guys are just great. I mean, I know that y'all do not want to learn all the time, but the fact that you want to learn sometimes is so cool. You know, I've had students where for the whole year they didn't ever want to learn one time, and that's a little frustrating, you know. But I really like you guys. All right. What's that?
I said that's why I like
RTA, yeah. Yeah.
Like, people who want to be here.
Yeah. I like that too. I hope you guys like it too, because, and trust me when I say college isn't 100% like that, but it is like way more like that than what you get in a high school. When you go to college, so many people, even the biggest slackers, they just leave. But even the low performers want to be there. It's really neat to be in a place where most of the people all want to be there. And, you get to have lunch between classes and, I don't know. I like it. All right. What's my slope on this one? Oh, hang on. Yeah, y-intercept is 3. Slope is -1/3, right? So that's down 1, forward 3, or it's up 1, back 3, right? Is this a dashed or a solid line? Solid line. All right, good. Good. Solid line. And now, shade above or below? Above. So that's over here. Here's where I'm shading. And now, here's the deal. You guys already know what I'm about to say, don't you? Your solution region is the double shaded region. That's it. So your solution region is this part right here. This. You could, if you wanted to, if you're not sure, just write within there solution region. There's only 4 possibilities. There's up here, there's north, east, south, and west. And in this case, it's north. Right? We should do another one. It does, doesn't it? You should get colored pencils. They're really helpful. Yeah. A Sharpie? Yeah. Do you want the green one? Oh, my Sharpie should be coming in the mail today. I ordered a package of 24 ultra-fine tipped. Have any of you ever colored with Sharpies before? Yeah. They're so good. It is. It's really bright, and yeah, so I'm going to print up some. I have cardstock in it. Well, no, this is for me. I'm going to, instead of buying coloring books, I'm just going to print something up off the internet and color it. So.
Oh, you like coloring?
I haven't tried it yet. I do like it kind of, but yeah. I found this really neat coloring book. It's tattoos. And even though I personally am not a supporter of tattoos, it's okay if you have a tattoo. I don't despise you. I am not a supporter of tattoos. However, I think the artwork in some tattoos is really pretty. All right, let's do one more and then we can call it quits. Yeah. Did we have a conversation about tattoos last year? Yeah. Well, yes, I said because of the frontal lobe, right? Yeah. Yeah. They talk about that? I did? No kidding. I had that. See, I don't always have the same conversations in both classes, but yeah. All right. Last one, guys. Let's do y is greater than or equal to 2/5 x minus 1, and then y is less than x plus 2. Yeah, now that I think about it, Sharpies would be really good for learning. 24 colors, man. No. No, I mean, I'm thinking, here's what I'm thinking. I think if I was doing college again, my notebooks would be cardstock. Thicker paper, right? And I would use Sharpies instead. Yeah, but no, I mean if it was me learning. That'd be for me. Because the cardstock actually is really good for notes. This is cardstock. It survives. You could take notes on both sides without it bleeding through. And, in college, like I have students, I taught AP Calculus for the past 7 years. I had a student even just 2 weeks ago emailed me and said, Mr. Ryan, you've really saved me. I'm in my calculus class and I don't understand the teacher, but I'm going back to all your notes and I get it. And it's like, well, that's cool. Yeah. Really? Isn't it cool when you realize, oh my goodness, these notes are better than I thought they were? Right? Yeah.
No, it was the other way around.
Oh, sorry.
I had notes from 8th grade.
Oh, in his class. Okay. Okay, nonetheless, right, you still experienced it, right? Yeah. Now, did you have it in a composition notebook? Because one student one day, they brought a composition notebook into my class and they were using that to remember some stuff I was teaching, which was really cool. Yeah. All right. We only got about 7 more minutes here, guys, so let's graph these. I'm going to use orange and green this time. What would, yeah. What's the y-intercept of the first one? -1, right? So we're going to go down to 1 here. And what's the slope on it? 2/5. So that's up 2, forward 5. It's right here. Or down 2 and back 5. Either way is fine. Am I going to draw a solid line? Okay. So let's line these up. Line them up. A pot of gold, yeah. Am I going to shade above or below? Above, because it's greater than 2/5 x minus 1, right? So I'm going to shade up here. All right. Shade. Okay. Now, the second graph, what's its y-intercept? It's +2, right? So we're going to go up to 1, 2. Okay. And then what's the slope on that one? +1, right? So it's just up. I don't know if you guys know this. Did you know that that's a diagonal, a 45-degree diagonal line? Is when it has a slope of 1. Dashed or solid? Dashed. Oh, you know what I'm going to do instead of using that? I'm just going to go through each one of these intersections with a dash. That should work out. That's what you do? Nice. It's a good skill. Now, above or below? Below, right? Because it's less than. So all down here, right? All right. Where's it overlap? Right here. See that? That's not a very large place, right? Solution region. That's the solution. So any coordinate inside that solution region is a solution to this inequality.